come undisputed and things like that, but once he got it, he like basically like what the hell. And that's you can see with Floyd too. Floyd really was like that too. He really like
Davis and Lamont Roach are gearing up for their lightweight title match on March 1st. But they had the most unexpected guest invade their media duties.
1, 2, 3. Good stuff.
come on real quick.
Ahead of their fight, the pair and their teams met to do some media and promotional work for the event. Shockingly, an unwanted guest, Floyd Mayweather, showed up and disrupted the meeting. Gervonta Tank Davis, on the other hand, was fully prepared for the confrontation, and a brawl broke out between the two. While those around them did their best to break them up, the pair were able to lay hands on each other, with Floyd Mayweather having the last laugh after shoving Gervonta Tank Davis. It was the first time the two had come face to face since their fight last April. The altercation began when Floyd Mayweather appeared in an interview with Fight Hype where he scolded boxers who were more focused on luxuries than honing their skills. Things escalated when Mayweather involved Shocker Stevenson, lied about Tank Davis's fight, and ridiculed the Baltimore champion.
Lifetime losses. And as long as you went out there and gave it 100% in that square circle, if you gave it 100% and you happy with what you did when you went out there, then that's what it is.
What it is.
The worst of all was how Floyd Mayweather not only picked sides against Gervonta Tank Davis in his last fight, but also acted in a manner that was uncharacteristic of a boxing legend. He was so focused on Tank Davis's loss that he felt his Instagram post about the fight being canceled wasn't enough. He also predicted a fight that was clearly an easy win for Tank Davis as a 50-50th matchup, and even gave Frank Martin some tips to help him defeat Davis. This time, Floyd Mayweather's feud with Gervonta Tank Davis got so much into his head that he secretly called Tank's opponent, Frank Martin, and gave him tips on how to beat Davis. Whether it fell on deaf ears or Floyd's instructions weren't enough, we don't know. However, on fight night, Frank Martin, who seemed to put on a great show in the early rounds, ultimately fell short. After 1 minute and 49 seconds in the 8th round, a devastating blow from Gervonta Davis sent Martin flat on the canvas, earning Davis the 30th win of his career. But that wasn't even where the problem lay. The real issue was the involvement of Floyd Mayweather, who had clearly been at odds with Gervonta Tank Davis, leading to one of the most epic mentor versus protege feuds in recent history. Frank Martin revealed in one of his many pre-fight interviews that Floyd Mayweather had helped him ahead of the fight, likely hoping to get back at Davis for being disrespectful to him.
Guys, so what was being around talking to Floyd? Like, what has Floyd taught you about fighting? And has it made you a better fighter? Because he could tell me all day to do that shit he does.
It came as a surprise to boxing fans and professionals when Frank the Ghost Martin revealed he had been receiving advice from Gervonta Tank Davis's former mentor and promoter, Floyd Mayweather. The lightweight duo locked horns in the ring at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas on June 15th, with Gervonta Tank Davis successfully retaining his World Boxing Association title.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what does being around a guy like Floyd do for you?
He could tell you, go run at 2 in the morning. Go do it when, cause not.
As expected, there was quite a bit of trash talk brewing between the two leading up to the fight. Despite the animosity, Gervonta Tank Davis remained the heavy favorite going into the bout. However, in an appearance on the Pivot podcast shared on YouTube before the fight, challenger Frank Martin revealed the Mike Tyson-esque advice Floyd Money Mayweather had been giving him to gain the upper hand in his fight against Gervonta Davis.
I've always been there for him from day one. We had a game plan, and my game plan was to help him become world champion.
Frank Martin admitted that receiving advice from Floyd Mayweather gave him a unique feeling, and as a result, Floyd Mayweather lashed out at those coming for him. I do what I want to do and support whoever I feel. How's there a crime in that? What's wrong with Frank meeting me for advice? If Tank comes, I'd advise him to. So, what's the problem y'all have with me? Mayweather said despite their split and the various differences over the years, Mayweather had been in Davis's corner, and for the most part, Davis had always respected the former world champion. However, with the Davis-Martin fight, alliances clearly began to shift.
Become world champion and take things to that next level. And I've always been there for him. And just over the years, you can see I've always been positive, always said great things about him, always pushed him to be great.
Especially after the highly publicized online clash between Tank Davis and Floyd Mayweather last month, the tension was undeniable. When asked if there was anything he had learned from Floyd Mayweather before the fight, Frank Martin responded, "He might tell you to go run at 2 o'clock in the morning because 9 times out of 10, that's what champions do." This was just one example of the kind of advice Floyd had been offering, boosting Martin's confidence ahead of the fight.
And we know your opponent sleep at that time. So go run at 2 in the morning and go give yourself a mental edge, cause you out there working every night at 2 in the morning running.
You are going to take a lot of heat for it, and it's going to give you a different type of motivation when you do it, Martin said. He also mentioned that even if a boxer can't perfectly mimic what Floyd shows them, it still gives them a different kind of feeling about themselves. Interestingly, this is exactly what Mike Tyson used to do before his fights to gain a mental edge over his opponents. No wonder he became the youngest heavyweight champion and later an undisputed champion, running at 3 in the morning and chopping. What were just a few of the rituals Tyson would do to get an advantage over his opponents? However, neither Tyson's training rituals nor Floyd's advice can stop Tank Davis from executing his plan. On fight night, Davis, who had come off a year-long layoff due to his involvement in a hit-and-run case in 2022 and a 9-day prison sentence in Baltimore, came out on top with an 8th-round victory.
The claims on X that your fight was canceled the last couple of weeks.
He's the one who told Frank that I was running at 5 o'clock.
The gap in his resume didn't diminish his skills in the ring. Davis defeated Ryan Garcia in his last fight in April of last year, and followed that up with a similar result against Frank Martin. In fact, leading up to Davis's fight with Martin, Mayweather urged his fans to watch UFC instead after the two exchanged shots on social media. Famous boxing reporter Michael Benson posted,
Friday, he told Frank that he was giving Frank the tip.
Really? How'd you know that? Just word of mouth?
I seen
Floyd Mayweather and Tank Davis continued their feud as Mayweather trolled Tank by posting that the Frank Martin fight had been canceled. Tank responded, "Keep talking and I'll pull up to your house and lay hands on you." Davis went on to knock out Martin in brutal fashion on Saturday, and in an interview after the fight, the boxing superstar revealed that Mayweather had tried to give Martin tips on how to beat him. He was giving Frank tips and stuff like that, but I know for sure that wasn't going to be enough to beat me. Davis said, "It's cool. It's all right. I don't really think too much of it. He's not going to hurt me. You know what I mean? It's better to beef with him than to be cool with him."
people drop by while I was running.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they were like spying her, kind of?
No. He got a club.
You know, it was Floyd Mayweather who told Frank that I was running at 5 o'clock, Gervonta Davis said. At one point, Davis had expressed his willingness to deal with Floyd Mayweather in the ring, even mentioning his name alongside his contemporaries. Speaking to Davis Nagy from Cigar Talk, the idea of a fight with Mayweather came up, prompting a deep response from the Baltimore native. "A lot of people don't know what Floyd does. He was going at me, and I knew for sure he was going at me. That's why I went to him. There's no reason for me to go at Floyd," Davis explained, referring to Mayweather's initial comment that he believed was aimed at him.
Oh, okay.
Closed at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. And they saw that catch me while I was running. But I knew for sure that wasn't going to be.
When Najee pointed out that
As a result, many expected Gervonta Davis to lay out a plan for a more productive 2025, with more fights, increased activity, and hopefully some major events under his GTD promotions. However, all those hopes were dashed when fans realized the announcement was actually about his retirement. Now, Davis, 30, is set to stand across from Lamont Roach Jr., 29, on March 1st, where he will defend his World Boxing Association title for the second time.
Care to elaborate on that?
Out of the sport.
After our second fight.
Nah, no, I'm gonna win, bro.
Nah, I could tell you my fights.
The fans had hoped that Gervonta Tank Davis would carry on the momentum from his impressive victory over Frank Martin in June. Instead, Davis shocked everyone by giving an ultimatum. He's on his last run in boxing, which will end in 2025. After next year, I'm out of the sport, he declared. But why is Tank, just 30 years old, eager to retire when he's still at the peak of his career? What about his fans and the ambition to put on thrilling performances for them? For Davis, it seems the allure of the sport is starting to fade. In a candid interview with Fight Hub TV, he shared his thoughts on retirement, hinting that boxing may no longer excite him in the same way it once did.
For the sport, how many times do you want to get in the ring next year? If it was your choice? 3 times. 3? So it's 3 fights for sure. Are you retiring, Tank? Are you retiring?
Tank Davis, with his perfect 30-0 record, admitted he had lost interest in boxing, even going as far as to call it trash and garbage. Fed up, he expressed his frustration with the sport, a sentiment that likely won't sit well with fans, who have been calling for him to step up and take on tougher challenges. Despite his discontent with the sport, Davis still found satisfaction in the financial rewards and, most importantly, in doing what he loves the most, knocking out opponents. For him, it's no longer about the sport itself, but about making strategic decisions and enjoying the power he holds inside the ring.
Fight Tank Baltimore. How about a homecoming fight?
No. Gervonta, you lost the love?
The question of how Tank Davis will be remembered and how his legacy will be judged remains a hot topic. When asked if he sees himself among the greatest, the Baltimore native was straightforward, saying, "I don't even care about that. Bro, I don't even care about that. Where I'm from, I'll forever be the greatest. I'll always be AG to myself." Davis seems to care more about his own self-respect and the recognition he gets in his hometown than ranking himself in boxing history, although Davis has just one more year in the sport, with his upcoming fight against Lamont Roach Jr. on March 1st. This doesn't mean his final year won't be full of excitement. Fans can still expect his signature explosive boxing style and flashy backflips in the ring as he wraps up his career in style before stepping away from the sport.
Looked like you were talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously is what you?
Tank Davis could still fade in a few more fights in 2025 before officially ending his professional career. Additionally, the lightweight champion is still bound by a multi-fight contract with PBC, which reportedly includes a clause for a potential matchup with Shakur Stevenson. However, with Davis now announcing his retirement plans, it's unclear how these contractual obligations will be handled. The situation is still unfolding, and it remains to be seen whether Davis will remain firm in his decision to retire or if these contractual commitments will influence his future in the ring.
Did you know your next fights? Can we know who they are?
Probably the Ryan, hopefully.
Davis is set to return to the ring at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn this March, where he'll defend his World Boxing Association lightweight title against current super featherweight champion Lamont Roach. During the launch press conference, Tank revealed that he plans to retire at the end of 2025, but before hanging up his gloves, he has named 3 fighters he'd like to face. The first of those matchups will be against Roach in March, and when speaking with Fight Hub TV, Davis named Ryan Garcia as one of the other 2 opponents he hopes to face before his retirement.
What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is.
Davis and Garcia first faced off in April 2023, with Tank dropping his opponent twice en route to a 7th-round knockout, handing King Ryan his first professional defeat. Garcia is currently serving a 1-year ban after failing a drug test for his fight with Devin Haney, but will be eligible to return in April 2025, which could set the stage for a summer showdown with Davis. Tank also revealed he'd like to face Teofimo Lopez before retiring, saying, "Yeah, I do Teo. I'll slap the hell out of him when I see him."
Him. The Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming his name. He haven't done nothing. Keyshawn haven't even done nothing.
Lopez, the current WBO super lightweight champion, claimed the title from Josh Taylor in June 2023 and has successfully defended it twice since. A potential fight between Davis and Lopez has been speculated for years, with many boxing fans eagerly anticipating the matchup. One man who has shared the ring with both fighters recently gave his prediction for how the clash would unfold. As for his upcoming fight with Roach, Davis has prepared the fans for what to expect during the press conference. Tank Davis officially announced his March 1st fight with Roach, and the event concluded moments ago. There's been plenty of discussion around Tank's choice of opponent, and when Roach had the first opportunity to speak at the podium, he shared his thoughts with the public.
What do you say to those who might be afraid? So what do you say to those who might be saying that, Tank is afraid of Shakur?
Afraid of what?
I'm excited to be a part of this, and come March 1st, it's going to be a great event. Roach said at the press conference. Right now, I'm not really big on getting into all the hype and stuff, but when the time comes, it'll be a great show. Same results. We just have to wait and see. We've got 3 months to get ready, so it's going to be a good one. This is a hell of an opportunity, and we're going to conquer it. Roach continued with confidence. Everybody knows what I'm coming here to do. If you don't, well, you're in for a surprise. I think Tank took this fight because of all the talk around it. He wants to prove his skills against a dog like me, and I'm going to show you all what happens when the dogs get in the ring together. Obviously, I'm going to be the one coming out victorious. Then it was Tank Davis's turn to speak, and you could feel the intensity in the air as he prepared to share his side of the story.
How much you want to bet? Because I came up here alone. How much y'all want to bet? How much you want to bet? Just call it out. Huh? 100? That's a bet.
As both fighters sat down for the Q&A session, the tension in the room was palpable. Tank Davis began discussing his previous attempts at securing a fight with Vasily Lomachenko, and while Roach became the next logical opponent for him, when it came to Lomachenko, it just didn't work out. We tried to make that fight happen, but it didn't come together. Davis explained, Roach is the next man up. He's got the skills, even though he's in a smaller weight class. I feel like Lamont has been doing his thing, and he's actually one of the guys I came up with in boxing. A lot of people don't really talk about him now, but he's still putting in work. Most of the guys we started with aren't in the picture anymore, so people might not know him as well, but trust me, he's got skills. He's definitely a top opponent. Davis' respect for Roach was clear, acknowledging his abilities despite the weight difference and the years they've spent in the sport together. This was more than just a fight for him. It was about giving credit where it was due.
I actually started with, came out with in the sport of boxing. Actually, still doing well. Everybody that's started with us.
Lamont Roach confidently stated how his style would differ from what Tank Davis has faced in the past. He emphasized his adaptability, toughness, and ability to bring a variety of skills to the table. I can fight different styles. I'm gritty, smart, and I'll do whatever it takes to win, Roach said. I've got more than just one trick up my sleeve, unlike others Tank has fought. Davis, known for his knockout power and bold personality, has become weary of the sport. Despite his explosive performances, he admitted that he was less focused on his legacy and more interested in securing his financial future. I'm just ready to get through this fight and get it done, he shared at the press conference. Wow, fans had expected Davis to be more active after overcoming legal troubles. His desire for an early exit from boxing became clear, leaving many to wonder if this fight could be one of the last times they see Tank Davis in the ring.
Martin press conference, it looked like you were the talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously...
When asked about his 2025 schedule, Tank Davis made it clear that he was planning to retire, stating, after next year, I'm out of the sport. This shocking announcement didn't sit well with his fans, who have grown accustomed to seeing him fight regularly. Many took to the comment section to express their disappointment and frustration. For now, the boxing world waits to see how his remaining time in the ring unfolds. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications for the latest boxing news and events. Until next time, peace out.